welcome to this special broadcast on Bloomberg Queen. For the last 48 hours, we've been following a very interesting twist in the case of the Binani Cement's insolvency. The company was in insolvency proceedings. Bids were called for. A bidder was selected by the Committee of Creditors, and that bidder happened to be Dalmia Bharat's consortium. UltraTech, which was the second bidder, came in very close to the Dalmia Bharat bid as per reports, but of course did not win. Now, just as this was getting finalized, the process, UltraTech has agreed to do a separate transaction with the promoters of Binani Cement, that's Binani Industries, in effect an alternative transaction outside of the insolvency proceedings. This has thrown a spanner in the works, if I may call it that, when it comes to the insolvency proceedings, and also raised an important question in law on how the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code would look at an alternative transaction or a side transaction of this nature. To talk about this, why UltraTech did this and what it hopes to achieve, we're joined today by Atul Daga, the CFO at UltraTech Cement. Mr. Daga, thank you very much for speaking to Bloomberg Queen. You know, simple, straightforward question up front. What prompted you, whilst you were part of the resolution process and you were a bidder in that, to then go and sign the side deal or alternative transaction with the promoters of Binani Cement?
Hi, Menaka. So first and foremost, I don't like the word side deal. And the reason you should understand what has happened so far. We had put in a bid of 7,266 crores to the resolution professional and lenders, which was available on record with them when the bid went for voting. Unfortunately, they decided not to take our bid and go for a lower bid of significantly lower bid. Subsequently, we have filed our bid with NCLT also. Now, this became information in public domain. When the promoters, Binani Industries, saw the higher offer available, they have approached us sometime last week whether we are interested in buying their stake on a bilateral deal, because they would get a better value for their company. Why should their company be undervalued? We have accepted their offer. We have given them the same amount of money, what offer we have given to the lenders, that we are willing to buy the company provided that they are able to get the company out of the IBC process. Only in that situation, our offer remains the same, what we have made to the lenders. So there is no side deal that we are doing. This is what has happened so far.
Mr. Daga, can I ask you on what basis you're claiming that your bid was better than Dalmia Bharat? And I must admit here that whilst we've heard all kinds of information from people close to the process, etc., there has been no formal communication either by the creditor committee nor by the resolution professional to communicate really what the specific difference between the bids was. So on what basis are you claiming that your bid was better than Dalmia Bharat's bid?
And this is our point of grievance and point of bitterness, that the resolution professional has not communicated anything except a one-line email which was given to us saying that we are not H1 bidders. We have been asking them right from day one to share the evaluation criteria, evaluation process, and how they have scored us. Unfortunately, they have refused to share any information. And that is why we, in fact, filed a petition in NCLT about lack of transparency shown by the resolution professional. Coming to your next point of why our bid is superior, well, our bid is for 7,266 crores, as against what I understand from the media, the Dalmia Bharat bid is for 6,350 crores. There is clearly a significant amount of difference and a large difference between the two bids.
Mr. Daga, I'm just going to interrupt you there.
No,
Sir,
I am not finished.
Okay.
That is not enough. That is not the whole story. The evaluation criteria that the resolution professional have laid down was on quantitative and qualitative parameters. On the qualitative parameters, there are several elements which are clearly put UltraTech way above any other cement player in the country. Whether it is debt equity ratio, whether it is net worth of the company, whether it is credit rating of the company, whether it is the turnaround capability of the company, we are far higher than any cement player in the country. There was one issue which was about CCI. Now, RP in his own sweet wisdom, or the lenders in their own wisdom, decided that UltraTech will not be able to get CCI approval for this transaction. They don't have a clue of how to evaluate a CCI proposal. They haven't called for any information that is required to understand competition and how things work. And on their own subjective analysis, they have given us a negative score. This is what we have understood from the media. And because of scoring us down on this criteria, our overall score fell short by 0.27 only on a scale of 100 from Dalmia Bharat's bid. If the difference was only so small, shouldn't they call both the bidders to maximize the value? IBC talks about maximizing of value of the process.
Okay, Mr. Daga, can I get a word in now? I understand your pitch for your company's, sort of superiority over any other bid, but I just want to establish some facts. Dalmia Bharat has not ever gone on record with how large or what its bid was, but we understand from sources that its bid was close to about 6,350 crores.
Yeah.
When you placed your first bid, or your final bid rather, you were apparently, and you have been quoted in an interview as saying that your bid was 6,200 crores. So when final bids were placed, you came in below Dalmia Bharat's bid. It is only subsequently, once the bidding process was over, that you have enhanced the value of your bid to about 6,900 crores, and thereafter now you say that you have offered 7,266 crores. But when the final bids were put in for this asset, you were below Dalmia Bharat. That's what the facts seem to suggest, because you yourself in an interview have said you were at 6,200 crores, and whilst Dalmia Bharat has not made any number public, we understand from sources that their bid was at about 6,300 crores. So I understand the difference was very little, but you were below them, correct?
Fair enough. That is on the absolute amount, but that is where the scoring criteria comes in.
Sure. And now beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Sir, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. I'm not the committee of creditors, nor are you, nor either of us are the resolution professional. So I won't get into what is not quantifiable. I understand your point on the CCI basis. My question on fact here is that have you received any communication from the committee of creditors telling you that it was this issue regarding the CCI that was what prompted them to pick the Dalmia Bharat bid over yours?
There is no official communication, but the lenders have gone to the media and spoken about it.
They have not made any comment on record, sir. This, what you're referring to as media reports, is all source-based, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So there is no formal comment from either the Committee of Creditors or the resolution professional on why you lost this bidding process and why Dalmia Bharat won, except the one fact that we have established. When the final bids were put in, your quantitative bid was lower than Dalmia Bharat's bid, correct?
No denial about that.
No denial about that. You enhanced your bid thereafter. Now, what you choose to do...
Well before the voting took place.
No, that may be your case, sir, but the bid deadlines had expired, right?
But Menaka, you need to understand how the overall evaluation process works. Half knowledge is not very good. Now, just because an absolute amount is higher doesn't mean that the quality of the second bid is inferior.
No, I said quantitative. Therefore, I said quantitatively your bid. I don't know what quality parameters factored into the decision of the Committee of Creditors. I'm saying quantitatively your bid was lower, right?
What's stopping you from asking that? But the thing is, the criteria that have been laid down have to be respected by the lenders and the RP.
Sure, Mr. Daga, I'm not even disputing your argument that the criteria may have been misused or poorly decided. I'm just saying, factually, all I'm trying to establish is a fact matrix here, that quantitatively, and that's the only fact we know so far, your bid was lower. Qualitatively, why they picked Dalmia Bharat over you, I don't know. You have a better idea of the process because you were in the process. My next question to you is this. You did go to the NCLT, you filed a petition, claiming that the process has been very opaque and that you were entitled to more information as to why you lost the bid. That's a fair thing to do, I would imagine. But why would you parallelly then jeopardize the entire insolvency process by choosing to do what I'm calling a side transaction. You want to rephrase it, we'll call it an alternative transaction. Because you've now signed an alternative transaction, which is outside of the insolvency process, which is only going to lead to further litigation from here. So I'm trying to understand your strategy in this.
Okay. Now, you cannot take away the constitutional right of any individual in the country to own property. Binani Industries is still the rightful owner of Binani Cement. What lenders have got is a right to recover their dues. That's it. They don't decide the ownership. The owners have realized that they are not getting full value for their asset, and that's why they have approached us. We are not changing our bid. The bid that we had filed with NCLT,
correct,
the same amount is what we have offered to Binani Industries, provided they are able to get BCL or Binani Cement out of the insolvency proceedings.
I understand that, sir.
I don't think there is anything wrong in that.
No, there isn't anything wrong. I'm simply asking you that you've taken a conscious call to do a separate transaction from the insolvency process. You are part of the insolvency process. Now it does seem that all of this is going to lead to further litigation. That is what we're hearing. I don't know how this will end.
I don't know why it will go into further litigation. I'm sure NCLT will see light of day and understand the follies being created by the RP. The lack of transparency, subjectivity that is being put in the process, they should have told us right up front that there is no qualitative parameter to be used in evaluating the bids. Obviously, when UltraTech is a AAA rated company as compared to any other cement company, Dalmia Bharat is AA or AA minus, or I don't know where they are, but they are certainly not AAA. Our net worth is 25,000 crores, and Dalmia Bharat it is visible from the balance sheet is less than 10,000 crores. No. So there are so many qualitative parameters, Menaka, which have been put. We have turned around, and there was one more criteria, capability to turn around assets. We have, out of over 90 million tons, more than 40 million tons is by way of acquisitions, and we have turned around those assets. Nobody in the country has the capability or has shown or has the prowess to turn around assets in such a large scale. Those points do merit in the evaluation criteria. They rank way up, and we clearly know that in such a situation, a bid which is lower in absolute amount can be superior in quality and still be a H1.
Yes, sure, Mr. Daga, that is your argument. I understand that. It is not up to me to determine whether you are better or Dalmia Bharat. My question to you is this. You filed this petition in the NCLT. You have a grievance. You've articulated it. Could you not have waited for the NCLT to take it up in the proper manner as opposed to striking an alternative transaction? Don't you think you've jeopardized your chance of rightfully seeking redress to your query, your concern and your grievance by doing this alternative transaction and thereby coloring the entire situation? Now when the matter goes to the NCLT, they're confronted with an insolvency process that has been hijacked by an alternative transaction. And so they're going to look at it through those eyes. So are you not, in some ways, if I could use the phrase, kicking yourself in the foot?
No, I don't think so. If you look at Section 60, subsection 5 of IBC, it clearly allows NCLT to call off a transaction or call off an insolvency proceeding, provided the corporate debtor has shown the ability to pay off all its debts. That is what Binani Industries has done. If I were to step in the shoes of the promoter, I don't see what wrong are they doing by wanting to realize better value for their asset. And if they have approached us, I am not doing a side deal. I have shown our offer is visible to public at large. It's an official statement made to NCLT. It's there on record. This is the number which is available, which Binani Industries has asked us to sign a deal with them to buy their equity stake. There's nothing wrong in that.
All right. No, I'm sure there isn't. I'm not, like I said, we're not sitting in judgment. We're just trying to understand what your strategy here is. We also understood, my colleague Vishwanath, who tracks banking, was told by some of the lenders that they actually believe that the debt is actually more than 8,000 crores. Now, I don't know what the actual debt position is because we've been talking to Binani Industries. Samir Kaji was, on Bloomberg Quint twice over in the last 24 hours, disputing that amount and saying that it is not 8,000 crores. It's much lower than that. Especially the secured debt is only about 3,500 crores or something like that. And the full amount, even otherwise, including operational creditors, etc., is below 6,000 crores. Now, if at all the lenders were to establish that the debt is above 8,000 crores, your agreement with Binani is for 7,266. Are you in a position to enhance that?
We have gone by the values which were disclosed by Resolution Professional. Okay, on that basis is what we have done the evaluation of the asset.
Okay.
So unless we know what further is there, we will not be able to comment on that.
Okay, but I'm asking you that if they do claim that the debt in fact exceeds 7,200 crores and is somewhere close to 7,500 crores or 8,000 crores, would you be inclined to increase your bid for this transaction?
This is a hypothetical situation, Menaka. I don't think so. I will be able to offer any guidance on that, because till we see what is suppose there is a debt of 100 years, I don't mind taking that debt.
Okay, fine.
So I need to know much more detail about what this is, and this again then casts a doubt on the way the process has been run. Why the process or the RP showed us a value of about 6,500 crores of secured and unsecured debt.
Okay. Mr. Daga, we know for a fact, and there is a press release that's just been issued by the Dalmia Bharat Group, which details what has happened so far. It's a very brief one, but which also says that the resolution professional has since filed the resolution plan with the National Company Law Tribunal for its approval. We do know for a fact that that happened yesterday, which was Monday. It's quite clear that neither Dalmia Bharat, nor its lawyers are going to take your actions or Binani Industries' actions lying down, which is why I made the argument that this is likely to end up in a web of litigation. You're expecting to pursue this all the way to the Supreme Court if required?
Yeah, we will. Because I think we are seeking justice on what is a transparent process. IBC is an evolving legal framework, and it needs to be, foolproof. And the way this has been handled in this particular transaction, clearly it is clouded in secrecy.
Well, okay, that's your claim. Though, of course, for the last 48 hours, we have been speaking to a large number of lawyers here on Bloomberg Quint, and the opinions are divided. Some people believe that what you are doing in Binani Industries is doing, is a good effort to test the law. Others believe that, what you're doing is completely outside of the law, especially because you are now teaming up with a promoter who is specifically disallowed to bid or participate in this transaction in any fashion under 29A. So the legal views on this are divided, but I'm sure you have the best opinions available, to bolster your argument in court. I just want to know, do you not believe that if this goes into protracted litigation, the value of the asset will get impacted?
It is an operating asset. Okay, so I don't know how long, if at all it goes into litigation, how long it will take, and unable to comment on that.
Okay, so just to confirm, you are going to go all the way to the Supreme Court if required. You won't commit on whether you'll enhance your bid if required, but so far you're willing to put 7,266 on the table.
Why do I have to enhance the bid if nobody is there to match the bid?
But I don't know. Maybe Dalmia Bharat will match the bid.
So if they do, then it's an auction process. We'll see at that point in time.
This is most peculiar, Mr. Daga. There is an insolvency process and an auction process that might run outside of the insolvency process, is it? All right, we're going to leave it there. I appreciate you joining us and sharing those details with us. This is, at the very least, going to be an interesting battle, and who knows who will win. Atul Daga there, the Chief Financial Officer of UltraTech Cement, making his case for why the transaction with Binani Industries is fully justified. Thank you for watching, and coming up next is Prime Time.